If you're more than 20 years old, you probably remember this. One of the wildest colorways Nike's ever done. The Pink Berry Mercurial Mbappe 4.
And now they're back in typical Nike fashion, bringing that old school colorway design and vibe from 2008 into 2020 on Kylian Mbappe's second signature colorway called the Superfly Rosa. But why make this an Mbappe boot in the first place, you ask? And I'm glad you asked, because it's actually a really cool story. And I figured that, like we always do, I might as well show you what the boots look like in action on the pitch while I tell you that story. Also, do remember that if you feel fly enough to rock either these or the Vapor version that I have on my feet, you can buy them right now from Unisport if you click the pop-up right up there. On Eva. So the reason the Mbappe 4 Berry comes back as an Mbappe signature boot instead of just a general release or a limited edition is because young Mbappe had a very special relationship with this colorway of the Mbappe 4. Because according to legend, young Mbappe had seen this colorway on the feet of some of his biggest football heroes. Official sources will tell you that it was Franck Ribéry, but we all know, of course, it was Lord Bendtner. But apparently young Mbappe wanted this boot more than anything else. And after begging his parents for this boot for a long time, they told him that if he did better at school, they would actually go and buy him a pair. So Kylian buckled up, worked his socks off, and finally his parents actually came through. Now, according to Kylian himself in his Instagram post, he told us that his parents had to save up for a quarter of a year, but finally he actually got to own a pair of these. So I actually think it's a pretty cool story, and the fact that everything kind of comes full circle and Mbappe can now again wear this colorway and design that's really close to his heart is, yeah, that's pretty wicked. But apart from that, why is and was this berry colorway such an iconic boot for Nike? Well, the thing was that back in the day when Nike released the Vapor 4 and the Vapor 4 SL Rosa, as the boot is actually originally called, on the 22nd of November in 2008, they did so with a pretty hilarious Pink Panther style commercial featuring Franck Ribéry. And also the boot was only worn by a select group of pro players. So you have Ribéry, you have the Lord, you have Andrea Xavi, Hatem Ben Arfa, Marco Materazzi, Milan Baros, and Amari from Juventus. Another curious thing was, it actually made the boot even more special, is that they only released the standard Vapor 4 version, so the version that had the glass fiber heel counter, whereas the Vapor SL version with the carbon fiber tooling that the pros wore never released, and to this day remains a bit of a myth and a really hard one to come by if you're a boot nerd. Of course, the Mbappe Superfly 7 Rosa is not going to bring back that elusive SL carbon fiber tooling, but I still reckon it's a nice opportunity for people who either remember the berry colorway fondly and want to rock it again, or for the first time if they didn't have the chance back then, or simply also just an opportunity for all you young guns out there who don't remember it but just think it looks really cool to go out and be very visible on the pitch. What I also like here is that Nike actually kept a lot of little cheeky references to the OG boot as a bit of a tribute. You have the original 2008 Mercurial font on the side, and also I reckon that the white stripes on the heel here is a nod back in time to the glass fiber heel counter on the original Vapor 4. And actually you do get a little bit of carbon fiber with the color and the pattern of the insole. Not that it's much of a consolation, but it is what it is. And then, of course, there is the colorway, which I'm actually a little bit disappointed by. Because yes, I know that it's not a remake, and we're in 2020. Things need to be a little bit more high-vis and bold and, you know, youthful, but it's still a little bit too far from that Pink Berry colorway than what I wanted it to be. And now that I mentioned the Pink Berry colorway, it actually caused a little bit of confusion for boot nerds at least, because the Mbappe Superfly is called the Superfly Rosa, and it made myself and some of my boot nerd friends scratch our heads a little bit, because we all remember this as the Vapor 4 Berry. But I did a bit of digging, and it turns out that this was indeed officially called the Mercurial Mbappe Rosa, but the colorway is called Pink Berry, so that's probably what stuck with us. But call it Rosa or Berry or Pink Panther, either way, this and this is cool. But like we know from the future DNA boots as well, this is a standard Superfly 7 and a standard Mbappe 13, but just with the berry colorway and look, or Pink Panther, Rosa, whatever you want to call it, meaning that you still get one of the finest speed boots around. And if it ain't broken, don't fix it, right? On the other hand, I would have taken a carbon fiber tooling, but we call Nike, it's okay. But what do you guys actually say about Mbappe's new signature Superfly Rosa boots? Well, as always, let me know in the comment section right down below. And if you really feel them, you can go and cop a pair for yourself from Unisport in the link right over there. Of course, also make sure to subscribe to the channel with the little bells notification button turned on, and then go learn some wicked skills so you can show off in your Berry Superflies by clicking the playlist right down there. With that said, guys, I'm signing off. Cheerio.